Germs, gentlemen, ladies, all of the above, none of the above, whatever it is, we're in a world of our own. Texas Motor Speedway. Because in Texas, everything's bigger, including the ovals. Live tonight, 3 Wide Racing brings you the Nathan Young Designs B-Car Series, the first race of the playoffs. In the booth, Thomas Morris, Matt Kingston, Texas native Trey Landry. Gentlemen, how we feeling?
I'll have you know this oval's no bigger than the rest of them, sir. But we're doing great,
Looks bigger.
Doing outstanding. You got Chuck Sweeting with a blistering lap, setting that 9 pole as they kind of caught us with our pants down as
They jumped the grid this week.
they jumped straight to gridding here.
Well, as Trey said, we got Chuck Sweeting on the pole to his outside, Peter Short, and we're off P2.
There in P3, we have Levi Zielinski to his outside, Luis Salmaso, the 4th spot.
Starting P5, we got Eric Micka, and to outside, Kevin the Flying Finn. He'll be rolling off P6.
We're rolling off P7, another playoff driver, Tanner Sharp, and to his outside, another playoff driver, Dan Wilson.
And with 38, Cody Wright is outside, a playoff driver, the 87, Richard Hines.
Starting P11, we got Nathan Velez and 12th spot, Rusty Webb.
Rolling off lucky P13, Johnny Thomas, and to his outside, Paul Ross for 3OG Racing.
And then for Pilot Performance Group, we have the 64, Chad Brown, who's outside, Richard Lafferty starting P16. It's another playoff driver.
And starting P17, we got Carlos Acosta. Jordan Till will be 18th. Kyle Hanshaw 19th. And he rounds out the field.
Carlos Acosta is not in the field right now. He's in the pits.
Who must have gridded, then ungridded, then got caught with his pants down. That's going to be tough break for him. This is the first race of the playoffs, boys. So this is going to see what we got here.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to watch because a lot of the playoff drivers are behind the gun. But we'll see what happens as the pace car dives off.
It's down. Going to hand it over to Chuckster here. And going green.
The start by Chuck. Coming up.
Must be the grease on Peter Short's fingers from those Cane's chicken fingers.
I'll be curious to watch Peter Short tonight. He's had decent finishes off and on the mile and a half, but he always brings up in the interviews he struggles on these kind of tracks. So we'll see if he can turn that around tonight. As he's got Mad Dog Zielinski there behind him.
Somebody who's struggling right now, Richard Hines, one of our playoff drivers. He's given up 2 positions up to the 4 here, I think, as Rusty Webb makes his way by him. So just to see if he can turn his night around. I know it's only early, but you don't want to give up that many spots this quickly.
No, you do not want to get hung out on that outside either and getting those bumps. Next thing you know, you're in the wall and your night's over. Believe it or not like the real life Texas, to my knowledge. The new grooves might come into play, but most of the time it's a bottom fest here on iRacing at Texas. So you kind of hook that bottom and hope it stays down there.
Well, we saw some pretty good side-by-side racing. That upper groove come in at the last race we did in these B cars.
Yeah, at Auto Club. Yeah, that was pretty good racing. So we hope we'll get some of that action here tonight. We've got Eric Micka trying to work his way around the 51 here. Couldn't get it done through 3 and 4, so we're gonna have to tuck back in.
Ooh, Nathan Velez about pounded the outside wall up on front of number 4. He's gonna lose a couple more spots now. As Kyle Hanshaw's his sights set on him. It is another one of our playoff drivers, sorry, and he won at Iowa, correct? IRP.
IRP for Mr. Velez. Seeing a few new paints in the field makes it hard to remember who's what. So Salmosa in a Mobile 1 car there.
Yeah, it's a pretty good battle between Salmosa and Tanner Sharp in that 3 machine as Tanner looks to dive low and make the move through 1 and 2. So move Tanner up to P6.
Seeing a lot of give and take so far, Trey. I mean, I know it's the playoffs, but just a lot of smart racing so far.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, 100 laps, long race, so these guys got plenty of time to hash it out.
I'm sure Carlos is thinking, man, where's that early yellow we always get? Because I am screwed without it.
Yeah, without a doubt, it's already 22 seconds behind. Chuck will be putting him a lap down real quick.
Tell you what, he's got the Chicken Man in hot pursuit right behind him as Eric Mickey looks to dive underneath Levi here in turn 3.
We can make the move on Mad Dog.
I like that. I mean, that's a good name for him.
Mickey should be able to get that pass completed on the corner and entry corner number 1. We'll see. They'll have a sight set up there on playoff contender. I guess it's going to be playoff rival, Peter Short.
Yeah, 2 of the hottest drivers in the series, so we'll see they're going to be the names to beat this season, or if someone else is going to throw a name into the hat here. This looks like Tanner's trying to cut underneath Kevin Finn off 4 there.
We saw Masso back there, not a playoff driver. He's a part-time schedule right now in the Nathan Young Designs B-Car Series. So we'll see if he can maybe catch up and follow him through to get past the 14.
He may be part-time, but he's always fast, so you got to keep an eye out for him. Looks like the
Fenske slowed down there.
A little trouble, maybe already burning some tires off, racing a little too hard. He did take it to the outside of Peter pretty early on there. Good little battles there, though, side by side for Levi and Kevin.
Some monster, so Kevin got a little bit loose coming up there.
Well, you know too, Matt, that's really tight at a turn 2. If you've never driven, I'm sure, any NASCAR game or even here on iRacing, when you come out of turn 2, it just tightens up in a heartbeat, and you just kind of, if you have too much wheel crank into it, you're just going to go around or just pound the outside wall.
Yeah,
Normally pound the outside wall.
that's usually what happens to me. Well, Levi seems to just got his stuff back in order as he's making more forward gains, but he clams the outside wall. Wow, that was a hard lap. That's going to be
What we're talking about.
Yeah, we just a little bit of foreshadowing there from us. That's going to be a good amount of damage on that 51. He's going to need a caution to get that right side pulled out because things going to be evil now.
Quite the
This
digger,
being,
eh?
This being a mile and a half, you definitely don't want any damage.
Some close calls between Nathan Velez and Paul Ross back there for 13 and 14. I actually switched to him because I see Nathan Velez come over chat pitting in. I was like, okay, what happened? Apparently you just mistake
Wrong
there.
button. I'm surprised they're this far back, Trey. These guys are normally up front, pretty deep in the field for some playoff drivers here.
Yeah, Nathan actually started 11th. He's lost 3 spots. He's floating around back there in 14th.
And he's playing that long game again. You know, he likes to be pretty stealthy. So.
Out of position right now from Kevin Finn and Luis Salmaso. See if we can make the move here in corner 1.
Kevin giving him plenty of room there.
I'll tell you what, the car to watch out for right now is that number 3 of Tanner Sharp. He's consistently faster than these leaders, and he's within striking distance, less than a second behind this pack here.
Without a doubt, he's definitely making some inroads into him here. About 10th quicker last lap, like you said.
Carlos Acosta, just to flash back to him, because he's also a playoff driver. Not yet a lap down, so he's going to hope that he can get a caution before he has to succumb to...
Looks like Mickey cut a piece of the wall there. Turn 2 starting to creep up more and more with these guys.
I hate turn 2 at Texas. So does Jeff Gordon.
Ooh, yeah.
What about Jeff Burton?
Yeah, him too.
I think if Tanner Sharp the 3rd position. He is quick, so maybe we'll see him start transitioning to get by Peter Short and old Chuckles up there.
Chuckles.
Ooh, he got a little bit tight up off corner 2 there by the looks of it, because he let off a loss coming out of it.
Just to show you guys, these guys started chucking at 27.9 for his fastest lap so far, already down to the 29 flats, so definitely some fall off.
But Thomas, it's a big setup, so everybody's dealing with the same issue.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, you're getting this fall off. I wonder if you're going to be able to move around more. 'Cause obviously, the tires are sliding, giving up grip. Maybe start thinking about going somewhere else as you get about halfway through this fuel run. I say that as Peter Short's kind of hooking the bottom there and reeling Chuck in.
And you look back to Eric Mickey, he's about half a lane up off the bottom, so definitely these guys playing around with the line here.
Question there, Trey, is it on purpose or is that just where the car wants to go? Another one back here, Matt, seems to be struggling is Richard Lafferty back in P17. Not the night he's looking for so far.
No, those are not good starts for a good portion of our playoff contenders, and you only have a few races in order for them to be able to advance to the next round of shenanigans. So you'd want to make a good first impression here, especially at a mile and a half like Texas.
I was gonna say, I believe next week is Mid-Ohio, so you definitely don't want to struggle here if you're not a fan of road courses.
Without a doubt.
'Cause I believe there's a guy named Peter Short who's pretty darn good on them. So
Eric Mickey can wheel his way around a road course too.
Yeah, without a doubt. That should be entertaining race next week for sure between those two.
who knows? Someone else might have the old magic touch at Mid-Ohio. Maybe even old Chuckster if they can get him to come out that way. He's not the biggest fan of road courses, but I'm sure he'll give it a shot. Still pretty consistent with these top four at least. Even the top five is kind of right there in that same window. All kind of running similar laps, gonna make it pretty hard to get around each other.
Oh, Mickey keeps getting good runs off turn 2 now, but I don't know if he can get anything done because he just closes up before they head back into the next corner.
Pretty good battle going on back here for 8th, 9th, and 10th between Cody Wright, Paul Ross, and Dave Wilson. These guys are quite the gaggle, and it's letting Johnny Thomas start to reel these guys in back in 11th.
Looks like Paul has a little bit of damage on that right side as well.
David Wilson should be able to take advantage of that because it looked like Paul got real tight down there in the bottom.
See Cody Wright starting to migrate that 38 up to the high side a little bit.
Paul Ross stuffed that down in there. Made it stick too. Looked like he was going in a lot harder than he could.
Still held off Paul Ross pretty good there. Alright, Trey, he might, I'm not sure about 1 and 2 because it's pretty bumpy up there in 1 and 2, but 3 and 4 especially.
So Tanner Sharp went into turn 1 and 2 there, and he just kind of drifted up a little bit and surrendered his position back to Eric Mickey. Getting back to the third spot.
Played a little too close with the wall there and going to lose all those positions after slight contact. Try to pull that fender out on the first pit stop would be good. Just don't pull it too much. It'll be like Chase Elliott.
Yeah.
Kind of took our eyes off that 38. We're talking about him. He stuffed it into the wall there out of turn 2 and lost all those positions. Dropped him back to 11th. Move Johnny Thomas up to P10.
Not going to make another position there too, Trey. He's going to be working over David Wilson in that 39.
These two are battling, and I think the 51's kind of backing up to them as well.
Well, I think Matt pointed out earlier, the old Mad Dog hit the wall as well a little bit earlier, so yeah, it's starting to show.
He tried to move it, but unfortunately it's concrete and it doesn't move.
Oh, it takes a heck of a hit. Side by side back there for P9.
What do you guys think about pitting? We're what, lap 25, coming to lap 25 here. Do you pit for fuel? Do you wait till the fuel runs out, or do you have to pit for tires first?
Well,
Judging by the fall off, I'd pit for tires, but I don't want to pit too early because try to make like 2 stops.
you can go green once. Pardon me, you're going to have to split it up enough to make it. So. because I believe before we'd seen guys like Paul Ross and, well, basically all of 3OG do that short pitting technique trade. I don't believe you're going to do it this week. I mean, it could be wrong, but with a shortened laps this time around, I believe you're going to have to stretch it just a little bit longer.
And Sean Rusty Webb about knocked each other's clocks there, I guess, as they came off of turn
Yeah, well, we
2.
were almost 20 wide out of 4 there for a minute. Jesus. Velez tries to get around David Wilson, and Cody Wright was still sticking his nose in there.
Yeah, this is quite the gaggle. I've been watching these guys for a few laps, and they've been battling back and forth. Some pretty good racing right now.
Yeah, this is the battle on track, too. We have 4 cars under a blanket trying to kill each other, and make it 5 with the Zelinsky up there.
It's great when you get these multi-grooves coming in, and then you're also like, man, I can't pass that guy because he's got the groove going.
Yeah. David Wilson looks like he has a nice high line going on right now. He's getting the momentum up off like you should, and he's being able to cut through the corners, or the middle of the corner pretty well.
Johnny Thomas was getting around the 51 right in front of him, so going to leave him nowhere to go as the 51 goes way high if they wanted to.
David Wilson's going to make that move around the 51s. The 48's looking low going through turn 3 here. He's got some drafting help on the bottom with David Wilson and Cody Wright.
Like someone told Mr. Velez it's time to get going.
Yes, sir.
He's running some really nice lap times, too. A 10th or 10th and a half quicker than the rest of the guys around him while racing.
Yeah, that's impressive while in the pack.
Richard Hines, we just mentioned him there. He made his way up to 13th spot, and he has these guys in front of him in eyesight.
And while all that was going on, Eric Mika has gotten around Peter Short for P2. So the battle continues from Auto Club. See if Eric Mika can chase down Mr. Sweeting there.
Yeah, we'll see. He's got Chuck's opened up a pretty considerable gap, about 1.8 seconds in front of Mika. So we'll see if Mika can cut into that.
But we know the great equalizer's coming up, Trey. Pit lane.
Oh yeah, the kryptonite of Chuck Sweeney is green flag pit stops.
Well, Richard Hines back here going to make the move on Cody Wright. Going across the stripe, going to be side by side going into turn 1. That should be good for him because he's right now one of the lowest playoff drivers as opposed to Costa.
Yeah, but he's kind of caught up to this battle, Matt. It seems like he's maybe, I don't know, maybe wasn't happy with the car at the start or just didn't get enough practice laps in. And now he's kind of caught his rhythm and caught this pack. So we'll see if he can maybe pick a few off here before they have to pit.
Yeah, and Richard Lafferty.
Pit, we got Johnny Thomas.
Not the Johnny Thomas.
Pit as well. He didn't announce it.
And we know what happens when you don't announce it.
Yeah, that could have been massive.
Yeah, that could have ended Richard Hines' day there.
Looks
Levi
like it's
Zelinsky.
Yeah.
Make her down the pit lane this time, by. Gotta get the right side pulled out, so it might be an extended stop.
Like Nathan Velez is showing on chat that he might come. No.
Oh, Ross headed in.
The
No
OG
sur-
guys.
No surprise, the 51, because he was starting to bleed out pretty bad. Chuck
Yeah,
Sweeting
Chuck
going to come in
Sweeting.
this time.
So, Eric Mickey also calls he's coming in.
Everybody's
Well,
coming.
believe-
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's a wise move by Eric.
Watch and see. Oh, Tanner Sharp's gonna come down too.
Chuck's
Good
got her
top
nice
four.
and easy.
Man, he was way slow. Eric was able to make up a lot of time on the entry of pit road there.
Peter Short as well. Peter actually got a good judge off of Eric.
Luis Almaso and Kevin Finn right now, your 2 leaders.
Man, everybody's coming down pit lane.
I don't think anybody else stayed out. Richard Lafferty still on track. Cody Wright.
Peter Short missed his pit stall there.
No. He's completely cockeyed in the box too.
Well, he kind of, cattywampused it.
4 and the 14 are down pit lane. 6 more to surrender the lead to.
Stall.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be some left rear damage for sure on the 33, but Truex came back from it today. So.
Yeah, you just had to hit it to get through tech.
That's at 38's coming down. Cody Wright might actually be out of gas. Yeah, he was actually dead.
And he
coming
slid
down.
through his box.
Who's that?
Cody Wright, I believe he was out of gas, but they're gonna push him back with the old tow button there. So definitely that was pushing the outer limits, I guess, of fuel.
What, 34 lap, 35?
35.
Yeah. Richard Lafferty still on track, however. He's your leader right now, getting some bonus points for leading the lap, I think, and he'll probably be coming into pit lane this time, or should be anyway.
Now, Chuck may have been slow on entry, Trey, but he definitely was not slow on exit. He's definitely pulled away from Eric after that pit stop.
He's got a bigger gap than he did when he came in.
And Carlos getting lapped there as the field goes by, so definitely not going his way so far.
You want to look at tires, man. Watch Richard Lafferty. These guys are just flying by him.
You're almost, I mean, it's almost dangerous when you get to this
Yeah,
position
I
because
mean,
these guys
they're-
don't know where you got to make sure it's very clear where you're going.
And he's going to stay out for another lap.
He really didn't have anything to lose. I guess he's hoping for a yellow with this difference in tires, maybe.
Oh, Tanner Sharp battling with the 33 Peter Short. See if the damage actually hampers Peter any.
He clocked it pretty good. I believe he hit it on entry and on exit. So,
Ooh.
so maybe it's not the
Oh,
track
he's
that
loose.
hampers Peter, it's the pit lane.
That was close. Especially with Tanner Sharp right up into his gearbox on that.
A little air off the rear spoiler there.
Tanner's getting a nice run through the center, but I don't know if he can carry it up off. He's gonna be
Might
able to
have
do
it
this
this
time.
time.
So,
Peter's gonna let him go. Smart move there.
yeah, no need to get involved in anything crazy going into the corners. Just let him go and save up your tires.
I'm looking through. I said the biggest loser through this round of pit stops would definitely be Cody Wright. 2 laps down, running P19. Definitely lost a lot of positions there and track time, gap time, whatever. The thing where you lost a lot of time on the track. So don't run out of gas, kids. That's the, story number 1.
Richard Lafferty still leading the race here. He's yet to come down pit lane, but his lead has been dashed from about 27 seconds to 18 in, what, 5 laps?
Yeah, what was he? Probably in the 30s, and these guys are down in the 28s. So Levi's
blowing
his way
by.
through. It's almost like we're watching the same thing, man.
Strange, isn't it? Now, if caution came out right now, Lafferty would be sitting pretty because you know everybody else is going to come down for tires. As we have a
And
caution
there
on
you
the
go.
speedway. Wow.
Cody Wright around on the backstretch.
That's insane that I said that. It came out.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
That's going to put
And
Lafferty in a really good position.
Lucky dog should be David Wilson, who apparently did not have a very good pit stop either because he's back in 12th.
Cody Wright hammered the inside wall there, and his engine expired. He's going to be done for the evening.
A lot going from bad to worse.
But you got to think
Definitely.
everybody's going to come down pit road, though.
Been out here long enough now. I'd say after 5 laps, you're going to come back in for tires again.
So Lafferty made the right strategy call there.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Your lucky dog will be David Wilson. Chad Brown. This will be in the first wave round spot. We'll see if he takes it. Oh,
Looks-
Lafferty slid through.
Looks like Chad's going to take the way around. Maybe even Richard Hines.
You'd think
Uh,
Hines would, because then you just hope for another.
Henshaw. Not sure why Carlos Acosta's getting waved around the pace car, but okay.
And Richard Lafferty should be first one out, too. As he passes Mickey and Chuck Squeal.
Oh, bad stop for Chuck. Gonna lose one to Eric Mika as well. Oh, also hello to Chad. Haven't said that tonight. Hi, how you doing?
And Ryan McCorkle comes in and says, "Way to call out that caution. Not my fault. I was right for once, unfortunately."
Good job, Marty Reed. Good job.
Well, folks, we'll put you side by side here, and we'll be right back to the action here at Texas Motor Speedway. Welcome back, Texas Motor Speedway, folks. We're going to be going right back to green here as Burt pulls off.
Richard Lafferty.
Nice jump there for Lafferty.
Nice jump. Let's see what he can do out front. Good strategy call to get him out front. One of the few times that this strategy actually works.
Eric Mika, the loser there, lost a spot to Chuck Sweeting on the restart.
This is the loser.
Looks like Peter Short, well, he was. Peter Short got that damage fixed as well.
That's good. Chuck drove that puppy in there, and he's right on the back bumper of that 8 machine, Richard Lafferty.
I don't think it's going to take him long because that 8 car was pretty off the pace compared to these front runners, so they're going to want to get him shuffled out as quick as possible.
Chuck gets the move, so will Eric, and so will Peter, I
Yep.
believe, in turn 1.
Yeah, I think Richard Lafferty's going to drift on to the back.
We call that putting the hand out the window tray. Just go by. Go by.
Right.
Careful. You got to be careful with that too, though, because if you're I don't say that slow, but if you're that much slower than the guys around you, you could get yourself wrecked with them trying to get around you.
And he just fell back right there about, I think it was 7 positions. Going to be more now.
Go to the inside of Chuck Sweeting, see if you can make it stick through 1 and 2. Chuck's going to leave him plenty of room. There'll be a little too much room there.
Looked like he got up in the outside groove just a little bit too much there.
Still got a power run off of 2 a little bit, but gonna let him slide in there. We know Chuck's pretty smart about those things, so we'll figure out when to run him back down here. It's Kevin Finn.
Oh, he gets to the outside
so-
wall. Just a scrape, though.
That's close. I think we call that a kiss, Matt.
Just a touch.
Yeah. A little smooch.
Yeah, Kevin Finn got around Peter Short as well, so we'll see how that cycles in. Tanner Sharp right behind him, and Paul Ross also big winner through that exchange of cautions and pit stops there. Back in the top 6.
Almost 3 wide there with Peter Short, Kevin Finn, and Tanner Sharp.
to the corner. But we did get confirmation on the 2 got waved around because of the start shenanigans. So that's why he also got a wave around Mr. Kingston.
Oh yes, we started 5 minutes early, I believe, tonight.
Yeah, I think that's a fair call by the league.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Looks like everybody's settling down up front here, trying to get in a rhythm. Say that as we go side by side into turn 3 between Tanner Sharp and Peter Short.
I've got to make it stick too, coming up into the quad oval dog leg thing.
Yep, one of those things for sure. It almost seems like with these cars, Trey and Matt's like when you get the run, you just got to take it because of the
Yeah.
momentum. If you back out, you're gonna lose so much time.
Yeah, without a doubt.
They're taking it. Playoff contender to them. 2 Carlos Acosta finally back on the lead lap, battling right now with Richard Lafferty for a spot in the top 10. He might be able to take him. It's a nice side-by-side battle using both grooves there.
So that a handful of laps, and Lafferty's going from the lead to outside the top 10 now.
Yeah, that's a hard pill to swallow there.
But I mean, you know, it's still one brilliant move. He could maybe learn something, see what he's doing wrong, maybe pick up a few tenths here or there.
Yeah, you can only learn from the best and being up front with guys like Eric Mickey, Chuck Sweeting, and Tanner Sharp, Peter Short. Those guys, it's definitely good to be up with them for a little while and see how they're doing these corners, because they could be doing it differently than what Lafferty was.
Something different. And a lot of us. Get Paul Ross got around Kevin Finn there, so move Paul into the top 5 for the first time tonight. He's happy about that after qualifying a deep 14th there, somewhere he doesn't normally qualify deep in the field. So. One thing to keep an eye on too is some of these fellows took the wave around under that caution back on the lead lap, so they're not too far off the pace with their tires, but they're definitely were hoping for another quick yellow to get back on the same set of tires as the guys around them, or even I guess even a lap or 2 fresher. Really.
Somebody I'm surprised at there too, as you mentioned that, Thomas. Richard Hines did not take the wave around.
Ooh, that's interesting. This early, I believe I would have played that gamble because we're gonna lap. If we stay green, we're gonna lap more cars, and you may not get a chance to get that lap back.
Yeah, exactly. As Jordan Teal's going to battle with Kyle Hanshaw for the first car 1 lap down position.
Yeah, that's the
Battle
battle
in
right now. Yeah, all 3 of them.
We got battles everywhere.
Especially with Ron Meyer Jr. trying to start another Cold War.
No, not wrong.
Oh, is he posting pictures of himself again?
Yes. Kevin Finn trying to look back underneath Paul Ross here into turn 1. See if we can motor back by him here. Try and march to the front. Get it, Harvey, march.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Come
Richard
on, I hadn't used
Lafferty.
that.
Looking back here, Richard Lafferty be 3 wide going down the backstretch with Mad Dog and Carlos Acosta, but the Mad Dog decided he just want to go in on that one. And he folds.
I don't want any of that. You get 4 playoff guys around you there. You're going to be a little extra careful. Just a little bit.
Yeah, because one mistake could take all 4 of them out. Then you might get attacked after the race. Oh, Carlos Acosta sailed that thing in there. It's not going to stick. He's going to lose that spot to Richard Lafferty for sure.
They might lose another one by the time they get to turn 3.
Yeah, Nathan Velez, we haven't talked about him much so far tonight as we're past halfway now. It's a really quick race, but Velez been quiet so far, but he conserves his tires. Tries to make the charge at the end, and that might be the right move because we still only have 1 more pit stop remaining. We don't have any more cautions.
Tell you what, I'm kind of impressed. I don't know if it's the track or Carlos Acosta, but he's been able to keep it wound up there on the high side. He seems to like that groove up there, and he's he's not making it easy on these guys.
No, without a doubt. I mean, the whole first run he rode around by himself because of the way the gridding worked. So I'm sure he's just happy to be around people now and see somebody to race. But definitely, he's not falling back running that. We saw that with Cody Wright. You know, Trey, he was running it. He just kind of caught that wall a couple times that ended his night. Well, that really big wall hit in his night, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. And right now, gonna have a battle for the lead coming up soon. Chuck Sweeting, Eric Mickey, they could touch each other if they wanted to, how close they are. It's not like that 78 car taking off and driving away and ruining a race, but you know.
I mean, they could always have a big wreck and then back into each other under caution.
Junior, why?
Good old Junebug.
That's why you don't want to go to a grocery store in a parking lot where Dale Jr. is. He'll back right up Indy and not even flinch.
Oh,
Well, that last session, Chuck was, I would say, probably the quickest car on track on 20 laps. So.
yeah, he really stretched it there. I mean, Eric finally got around Peter, but at that point, Chuck had caught out to about a 2-second lead. So, and then even after the pit stops, we saw Trey that he just kind of stretched it on Eric. So maybe he was just kind of managing his pace, which it's a little bit easier out front than it is when you get stuck behind somebody and get that aero push or aero washout on the front. In these
Battle
Xfinity cars.
Tanner Sharp and Peter Short for the third is the Peter's going to look low going down into turn 1 here.
It's the
Tanner's-
32
Yeah, Tanner's not going to fight him for it.
It's the 33 versus the 3 for the third spot.
Oh,
I'm not a numbers guy, but
Well, according to the Christians, it's the end of the world. So
yes. And that was
is
the
it
day.
every
wasn't it?
day at the end? No, that was yesterday, wasn't it?
I don't know. All I know is I'm still here. I think Chuck just scraped the wall a touch there. Yeah, he just got another kiss.
He's just trying to scrape that car down to make it more streamlined.
right. Aerodynamics.
Anybody watching wondering why Mr. Sweeting is in the 90 machine? He's running right now for Corey Lindsay, who is taken his driver's helmet off and put his admin hat on.
And at this point, he's going, why did I do this? I mean, I know he loves Chuck in the car, but he's like, this race is clean. Why did I do this?
Yeah.
The 3 battle continues here. 3 back around the 33 and 3. I feel like I should break out some Bill Weber quotes here. On this day, the 3 car finished 3rd in the 3rd race of the 3rd season.
I wish this was lap 33 as opposed, and we could have a whole bunch of numbers going our way. As Peter Short got a nice run up off of that corner, as Tanner Sharp to get out of the gas. Ooh.
Yes.
Flew by him.
Back around him again. A little back and forth there.
And Tanner's got another run up off of turn 4. We'll see if he can utilize that in turn 1.
That little bobble there from Chuck where he did scrape the wall, that did cost him a fair amount of time there. He's going to have to regroup and see if he can track back down the Mika. Meanwhile, looks like the rest of the field has decided they got tired of racing side by side and they want to get strung out and
Johnny Thomas coming down pit lane there in the first of the takers as he's flying, just to get their boat up.
that's a little hot, but should make it. It's 50 here, I believe, correct? Yes.
Yes.
Oh, Carlos
That's a
coming in
cost.
as well.
Got his whole arm out the window. That's how excited he is coming into his pit box.
That's impressive to get that through the window now.
Chuck Sweeting is beginning to close up on Mickey just ever so slightly, but a 1/10 of a second that time. I think the 18's coming down pit lane.
So the cycle begins. Richard Hines making sure that people call out when they're pitting, because clearly he was almost a victim from that last time.
Yeah.
Velez on pit lane.
Johnny Thomas coming off pit lane now to cycle through. 77 had a big moment there.
Little damage on that 48 on the right side as well, so we'll see how that pans out. As the floodgates have opened here. Here comes Peter Short, Salmosa, Richard Lafferty, David Wilson all coming in.
Now here, Eric Mickey gonna want to, and he's gonna come in this time as thinking that Chuck Sweeting will undoubtedly follow him. Might be
Where
easier.
you-
Ooh, Chuck!
And
Come on,
this is where
Chuck.
you got to be aggressive here. You can make up time.
Oh, it hit the cone.
You can hit that
Ooh.
cone.
Mickey
You
about
just can't
lost
hit
it
the green
too.
cone.
That was a disaster in pit lane for our leaders. Oh, Mickey was going. Oh,
Little
Mickey
slow.
might be posted for speeding. He was
Close.
57 on pit road entry. But to watch that.
How much low up factor you get in it.
If you guys, it's all about the timing lines too, though I believe in pit lane. So if you got it slowed down quick enough,
I'll fix to find out because that jack is
He's
going to
out.
drop. He's good. This is where the pit stall doesn't actually help Chuck because you don't get up to speed quick enough.
yeah, exactly. Rusty Webb is slowed way down up there in the outside line as he touches the wall.
Here
Little
comes
bit.
Peter Short on fresh tires looking to take advantage of this. And blow by Chuck. Probably won't get Mick. Well, he might if he can sail it in there fast enough.
Mickey's not going to be up to speed until the start finish line is. Right now we have the number 3 machine, Tanner Sharp, going to come down pit lane for service. Peter Short challenging Mickey right now. This will be the battle for the lead once everybody cycles through. The last one to go through, I believe, is the 88, Rusty Webb.
Just hitting that one earlier, and these guys, he made up a lot of spots.
Yeah, you're talking what? Second and a half, 2 seconds, depending
Yeah.
on how bad you were handling there. Got Richard Hines going very slowly through 3 and 4.
I believe he's coming down pit lane this time. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a major time loss there. Not sure what he was checking up that early for, but that's going to cost him 2 positions.
This battle for the lead's going to get real hot here as we're about 27 laps to go in this race. Chuck Sweeting, Peter Short, and Eric Mickey are all within about 2/10 of each other. So
Oh, meanwhile, through this exchange, Cal Henshaw has pounded the inside wall in turn 2 and done for the night.
ooh, yikes.
Kind of like the Bills, done for the day. I don't know football. Are they good this year? Probably not.
Possibly.
One could have hope that they might be good one day.
Rusty Webb trying to play this game like Richard Lafferty, see if he can get a caution. He almost did with hand shot, but he got off the track.
It was really close. Although, well, yeah, you're gonna have to have that caution at the right time. 'Cause stretching it here, you're really gonna be in trouble because these guys are gonna lap you by the time you pit.
Yeah. This isn't a fuel strategy race, I don't think.
No, it shouldn't be. These guys are pitting within their window. Looking back here on Tanner Sharp, looks like he had a terrible pit stop.
The hell was somebody calling Earl?
Coming in.
Sounded like somebody was Ralphing. I got you.
Not sure. He didn't get caught speeding. I don't believe it. Just slow pit stop for the 3.
That's unfortunate because he was looking real good, contender for the lead there, for the win, sorry. Johnny Thomas and Kevin Finn battling each other in front of him. That'll help Tanner catch up to them and probably be able to get by them because he's on the freshest tires out of the bunch.
He's going to need caution if he wants a chance to win this one.
Yep, those are the mistakes you got to minimize here once you get to the playoffs. Couple points here and there can cost you a lot.
88 Rusty Webb down pit road is going to hand the lead back over to Eric Mickey, so he's not going to attempt to stretch it.
I
Ooh,
don't
Chuck
think you can
Sweeting
stretch it
falling
much
off of
further.
him. No, yeah, he was losing way too much time. Chuck Sweeting fell off a little bit there. He's for a second now off our leader Eric Mickey.
I'm telling you, when he hit that wall at a 2, it knocked a little life out of that car. I don't know if it's an extra little kiss, because there's no real major damage on the car. I'm not sure if Maybe a little psychological damage there. But we'll see. We know he can sometimes pull a rabbit out here, so we can find a little extra groove. Looks like, yep, Tanner Sharp has gotten around Kevin Finn, got his sights already set on Paul Ross. Probably catch him in the next lap or two.
We should make short work of Paul Ross there, I think, 'cause he's Paul, I believe, pitted second out of everybody on the round of pit stops. So Tanner should be able to use his fresh tires to pass him and probably have his sights set on Luis Salmaso up there before.
Let's try to get to the sharp end of the field, you'd say.
God.
Yeah, we're looking at Paul Ross here and take this position away, probably in turn 3. I'm surprised the guys, which I know tires are coming into play here a little bit, but no one's really contesting the positions. They're kind of like, all right, you go, and I'll settle in and see if I can get back by you. This is playoffs. Where's the aggression? Where's the Jeff Burton, Jeff Gordon at?
I didn't mean to do that. I don't know. I got hung up on his left rear.
Where's the Dan Roper wreck the whole field kind of motion at?
Oh, forget his name. God.
Isn't he dead?
No. Unfortunately, he's in Europe, so. And that's
Oh,
Dan
that's
Weldon.
Oh yeah. Whatever. No, I thought there was a roper that was killed in a truck race. here
Oh,
in
that's
Texas.
Tony Roper.
Tony Roper, yeah.
Oh yeah, Tony, Dan, whatever.
Well, one has talent, the other's just,
Dead.
A rat.
Winding down the laps here. This race is blistering by here tonight.
Well, sure.
Is it ever? Yeah. We inside of 15 laps to go. And
Let's see if we can actually put a number out there to say, a few laps remaining.
now we have 17 to go.
I know I should probably know this, but who won Auto Club?
Eric? Nick?
Oh, who's out front?
Eric? Nick?
Oh boy.
I got some flack for saying whatever I said about his hands last week, but I'm telling you, that man drives much, I don't really know what to say now. I say he
Small
puts on
hands.
a big performance with such small hands.
You gotta make up for, Never mind. Peter Short is falling off a little bit there on Eric Mickey with the small hands. Dropped off about another 10th that lap, I believe. Yeah.
I'm gonna say
a bit
though,
over a
that's
10th.
That's been a good call from Peter, though. That one lap has got him around Chuck and, well, at the time, Tanner as well. So it's put him in prime position to stay within striking distance of Eric, at least. I mean, he may not have the speed to keep up with Eric, but now if he can hang on to P2, it's a pretty solid night.
Well, he's got a comfortable lead over Chuck, about a second and a half too. So
This is only round 1 of the playoffs. Yeah, you'd love to win, but you want to minimize the damage tonight and make sure you can get to round 2.
well, the ultimate goal is to get to Homestead, right? So this
That's what they
race counts
say.
for that. Yeah,
Homestead's a little overrated.
I agree.
Looks like Tanner's continuing his march to the front there, Matt.
Yeah, he's picking them up and putting them down. He's quicker than our leader right now by about 2/10 almost. So
Some might say he's a little possessed after that pit stop there.
Yeah, but he's 3 seconds behind Chuck. I don't know if he'll be able to pick him up, but we'll see. 13 laps to go. He might be able to close in on Chuck.
I don't know about a 10th at a time. That's going to be pretty hard. Chuck hit a pretty solid lap that lap. Actually ran quicker than the two in front of him, so might have found a little something here.
he's going to
Could
find a
be,
little bit more, unfortunately, if he wants to be able to get the top step of the podium in victory lane. I'm just going to keep saying podium, piss off all the circle driver fans.
We went over this, Matt. The podium's the thing.
Caution!
In church. We got a caution on the track.
Oh, 51 Levi Zelensky hard on the outside wall in the backstretch.
Mad dog.
He banged the outside wall, hit the inside wall, spun out across the track, and exploded his motor. That's unfortunate for him. He was
Well,
actually did a decent job at
This
damage
changes
control.
everything.
Yeah, this changes everything.
That's very reminiscent of Kyle Henshaw, but he came back across the track. So
Oh dear, this is gonna be intense on this start, to say
Eric
the
Mika
least.
saying we're going full NASCAR this week, huh? Always got the late debris caution. Well, I mean, it's pretty simple. You're going to come and take 4. I don't think there's any debate
No.
there. It's just making sure you don't mess up and you don't get one of those random 18-second iRacing pit stops.
Or slide through your box.
Fredericks,
Oh.
looking at you.
Rusty Webb will be the lucky dog here this time, and Richard Hines is gonna have to stay out and get his lap back.
Yeah, you're going to have to hope for a miracle and hope for a big wreck or something to maybe make up some track position here. And, oh man, this is going to set up a shootout because these guys, going to be less than 10 laps. Tires really won't be a factor. Drafting these cars. I can almost see rubbing my hands together now. Oh, it's Peter
Peter's
gives a little
short.
tap to Eric Mickey coming in the pit lane.
50, Mickey! 50!
Oh,
I think he actually got a black flag for speeding.
he got hit twice though. That's interesting.
Oh, it shunted up to 55. And
Yeah,
Peter hit
that's-
him the first time.
Yeah, it actually knocked well, let's just say it knocked the shit out of him.
It did, yeah. So we're gonna see what happens there because that's not good. Peter Short drifts out as Tanner Sharp's gonna take the second position. What did he do? Take 2 tires? No, he was in 4th.
As Eric's pleading his case now.
Oh,
So it is going to be cleared. Oh, interesting.
So does that mean Mickey's gonna be able to start on pole?
They're going to have to clear it once they go back to green.
Yeah, because he's gonna be the EOL. That's gonna screw up the entire order for the. Grid.
It'll just screw up the front guy. You just kind of do it that way.
Unfortunately, when you clear a black flag for something like that, it's still gonna give you the EOL, which is the end of the longest line. So yeah, he's gonna have to.
I wonder if they know that rule.
I feel like we should somehow get their attention, but I don't know how.
Give
I
me
know
one
how.
sec. Oh, well, Chuck's got
Chuck's
you.
got her, yeah. Thanks, Chuck.
Good old Chuck. We don't have to go to the back, according to Chuck. You can just stay up there and then they can clear it.
there we go.
Eric brings up the. Great idea.
Because I'm kind of with Eric on this one, and you know,
Yeah, you got bumped.
he got bumped.
That's not fair, really.
Let me pop over here. Let's
I
see.
can't see Peter be trying to do that strategeries though.
No, I think it was just the checkup thing.
Yeah. I don't think Peter was trying to do that intentionally because he's not that kind of a driver. So.
No, you don't want to mess up your front end, to be honest.
No, and that's going to hurt him a little bit here in this restart. Tanner Sharp might be sitting in the catbird seat.
Alright, so Corey's going to earn his oats here. He's going to have to clear, I think, just one black flag because of the way this works out. As Eric will be your leader.
I believe he's taking the
Gonna
inside
put
here.
Tanner on the
Sharp.
outside, yeah. Smart
That's
move.
going to put those. Well, Eric has back end damage. Peter has front end damage. I don't know how much that's going to affect his car here.
I don't think if you're Eric, it's going to matter. You're just going to go,
Yeah.
go wide open.
But we could have some big drama happen here because people are going to be slicing and dicing, trying to get the first win of the playoffs and maybe go all in and lose everything.
I think if you win here, you don't have to worry about it for the next 2 weeks.
Exactly. Mid Ohio, you can just, if you don't like road courses, you shrug that off.
Some RG bargy might happen here. Let's see, Bert he's had a pretty easy night tonight, but he's gonna solder back down to pit lane here and hand it back over to Eric. We're back to green.
Big check up there on the outside after Richard Lafley.
That outside groove, even when Tanner out there, just did not get going. Saw it even when Eric was outside of Chuck earlier. It just can't seem to get the momentum as Tanner's going to lose possible 2 spots here. Looks like Chuck's going to try and clear him. Now, Matt, you've been in this position before. How hard do you have to drive for this right now?
I wouldn't lift for the first couple laps.
Is this one of those where you run away as fast as you can?
Yes, you don't care about tires because they don't matter anymore. But Tanner Sharp unfortunately got to the bad end of that one. Fall back still. Well, he's gonna be able to hold off there in 4th spot, but Peter Short and Chuck Sweet gonna try to chase down the number 6 Eric Mickey, see if they can steal the show tonight.
Sharp, good run through 3 and 4. Gonna cut underneath Chuck Sweeting.
That 3 car wants it here real bad.
And Leonard Dale there.
5 laps to go.
He might have something. It's gonna be. I'm sure Peter's gonna fight tooth and nail for that. So it's gonna be hard for him to. If he doesn't get a good run on Peter to get up to Mickey.
Might be too little too late because he's stretching a good gap. But Richard Lafley right now, just talking about him real quick, he's recovered quite nicely and he's fighting right now for a chance to get in the top 5. Ooh.
That was close.
He's faster than a lot of these guys. You know, he's just been playing possum there.
Walls
He's
on
trying to
net
get
code there.
Yeah.
Alright, Tanner's right there on Peter. See if he can do what he did to Chuck. Not close enough this time though.
Well, next flag's gonna end this one here. Is for 3 laps to go.
Almost cut back underneath Richard Lafferty here into turn 1. Lafferty gonna hold him tight. All that space we saw earlier, that's not happening anymore. These guys have decided it's time to
It's
pinch
go
him.
time.
Oh, just about pushed up into him.
Oh,
Trying to throw the block on Tanner. Tanner's not having any of it.
Eagle got ushered into the outside wall there. Is 2 to go. White flag next time.
And that's a playoffs, that's playoff points. Looks like Tanner's gonna have a good run at it too, though.
Oh yeah, and Peter's gonna
Try
try
to
to
block him down to the white line. Oh, Tanner, no.
Oh, he's
Makes
gonna hit
contact
Chuck.
with Chuck. Chuck's gonna get sideways. Save it.
Save. Ow.
That was fighting tooth and nail to keep your spot for sure. White flag's now out. Kevin Finn's gonna get that spot from Tanner Sharp.
Mister, where did he come from? It's like
Well,
Tanner's got a driver back down in there, though.
Might
I
get
tell
up to
you-
this 33.
I tell you what, if I was that number 3 car, I wouldn't cut that 33. No slack going down 3 and 4 here.
Oh, the
Oh,
bumper from the
14.
14 to the 3.
The Eisentech Enterprise is completely massacring the 3.
He's gonna get the
Good
spot too.
lord.
As Eric Mickey gets the win. Tanner's gonna lose multiple spots there.
Wow.
Wow.
That was insane. And Lafferty sideways after the flag.
That was intense.
Richard Lafferty comes home in the 7th position. That's great for him. But Eric Mickey, your winner, and he's going to advance on to the next round of the playoffs.
That was that was intense with the Eisentech and RK Motorsports drivers there. A little argy bargy. We'll see how this all shakes out. I believe they said they had to review the winner, but as far as I know, if you get bumped into a penalty, not much you can do.
Yeah, that's problem is that's kind of an unprecedented area. That's probably never happened in this league before. So
And that, sir, is why I'm glad I'm not an admin anymore.
yeah, that'd be a
Right.
hard thing to police properly to
Let's
make everybody
say-
happy.
Once it's that in the rule book and you say that's not happened in 7.5 years of doing this, they say it doesn't matter. So have fun figuring that one out. Either way, obviously that set up an intense final stanza there. Is obviously Peter wanted that spot really bad. Little defensive driving there. But what do you say we make the hop over and get some of the heated interviews started here while we got them still hot and bothered?
All right.
You say hot and bothered?
Hot and bothered.
Oh man, somebody's probably not hot and bothered is Kevin Finn.
He was a little hot there. He got around the 3 with a little muscle.
All right, speaking of muscle, I got him. He's Army strong. Driving that number 14 machine. He started 6th, brought it home 3rd. Stout race tonight, Kevin. Tell us about it, bud.
Yeah, it's going on. I haven't talked to you in a while. My race was good. I didn't expect to be in the top 3, I'll tell you that. But yeah, it was a real fun race tonight.
Now, we saw you hang around the top 5. You said you didn't expect a top 3, but you were kind of hanging around there all night, Kevin. How was the track? Did it change much over the night, or you guys just kind of stuck to what you figured out in practice and rode around to the bottom to middle groove?
Yeah, it got really tight. Felt like it just fell off a cliff like 15 laps in, so really had to back up the corners and saving the tires was the name of the game tonight. But fought my way up to 3rd and beat Tanner. We're beating and banging on that last lap. It was really fun.
Well, Kevin, the first race of the playoffs went pretty well for you there tonight. You finished 3rd, like you said. And now we're moving on to a road course, and you're sitting pretty decent there in the playoff standings. So how are you looking forward to turning left and right?
Can't wait. I didn't race there last year. I missed it last year. So excited to see what this race brings us. And I know Peter's really good at the road courses, so I'm going to try to get another good top 5 next week. But I get a few good races coming up. It's we'll see how it goes.
All right, Kevin, you know the deal, man. 3rd in playoff points, I believe. Stout finish tonight. Looking good to advance to the next round. But before we let you go, let us get those shout-outs.
Shout out to my team, Isotech, teammate Peter Short, put on a good race. Coming second, OCR TV, you guys, and obviously 3 Wide, can't forget about them.
All right, Kevin, we appreciate it, man. We look forward to seeing you at Mid-Ohio. Gonna turn left, gonna turn right. Hopefully you can get that Army Strong vehicle back on the podium again. We look forward to watching it. We'll see you next time, bud.
Thanks, guys.
Right? It's not just me. I know, but they can hear me, but whatever. Speaking of hearing me, he's got those greasy fingers. He's got those Cane's chicken fingers. He started second. He brought it home second after throwing a vicious, aggressive block on that number 3 machine of Tanner Sharp. Tell us about it, Peter.
Yeah, man, I felt really bad because I didn't mean to hit Mickey on pit road. It was one of those checkup things, accordion effects. You see it every restart in the leader gets a good jump and then everyone reacts to him, and it was kind of the same thing here. Eric was going down pretty fast down there on pit road, and I was too. I was kind of trying to close on him, and he started to slow up, and I didn't have much time to react, and I got down to 50 at the line, and I did my best to stay off of him. So I felt like I did everything I could. I got down to 50 at the right time because I know there's going to be a question about that whole deal. I'm sure you guys were well aware of what was happening with Eric's black flag that he got when I bumped him. But all in all, you know, I really don't like Texas, and to come out of here with a second place finish is better than I expected. I had to throw a block on Tanner. I hope he. It was really vicious, and it was not a nice block. But I tried to give him room for, you know, most of the race, and it's one of those things. I'll give you as much room as I can early on in the race, but when it gets down to 2 to go and you're racing for a championship, the gloves come off. So, all in all, decent night for me because I hate Texas. It's my home track. I still hate it. The car was really tight coming out of turn 2, and that's kind of the norm for Texas. And I'm Eric and Chuck both have the tire saving thing down, and on the 1.5 miles, so they were able to pull away from me on the long runs, and I did my best to try and save some tire, and I was able to get by Tanner Sharp on the second to last green flag run, and pretty decent night for the number 33 Canes Ford. I just feel bad for hitting Eric. 'Cause of course, I don't mean to do that. It's the first time something like this has happened all year. So, good win to him. He's really fast in these 1.5 miles, and he was really fast again tonight, and he kept the car off the wall, which is what you needed to do. I hit the inside wall coming out of my pit box once, which was something that I haven't really experienced before. So that was also kind of cool. But good race.
Yeah, I believe we caught a glimpse of that when you were doing the John Force burnout out of the pit stall there. You said you don't like Texas, and you've mentioned you don't like 1.5 miles. You did come over with a P2 tonight. Does that provide maybe some hope headed into let's say you make it to Homestead, heading into Homestead, that you can maybe have that kind of performance on 1.5 miles still?
Yeah, Homestead's a different track. Homestead, it's very line specific. It's another one of these line specific tracks. I was hoping to see maybe the track move a little bit tonight, but it didn't really seem to. I think Eric was trying it a little bit there on the run just after I tried to undercut him. I think he was trying like a lane up in 3 and 4, but the line really didn't move. Track did get tighter in my opinion, but it didn't move very much. So we'll see how Homestead goes because it's variably banked. That might throw in another spanner into the mix.
Well, without a doubt, it's definitely going to be a variable. But heading into Mid-Ohio next week, or next race, you got to be looking forward to that, Peter, to punch your ticket.
Yeah, road courses, they're pretty awesome. I love them, and I especially love them with the stock cars because you're just lugging around so much weight and cars all over the place, and your tires are, after about 2 laps, your tires are gone, and then you're sliding even more. And Mid-Ohio is one of my favorite tracks as well. Not a lot of people like Mid-Ohio because it's really difficult to pass. In fact, Mid-Ohio is probably the most difficult road course to pass, I think, on the iRacing service. So that's going to be kind of interesting to see how difficult passing is. I've never run a league race at Mid-Ohio, and I've actually never done a stock car race at Mid-Ohio. I've done some open wheel stuff there, but it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully we can complete the road course sweep by winning at Mid-Ohio and the Glen and the Cup car.
All right, Peter, before we let you go, man, you know the deal, brother. Give us those shout-outs.
I want to give a thank to Drew. He was spotting for me while he was spectating the race, so that's cool. Glad to have him spotting for me. Congrats to Eric for winning the race. Nathan Youngs for sponsoring the series. Corey for everything he's doing. I think it's a huge testament to what Corey does for him to sit out of the chase, basically, and watch over these races to make sure, what happens is good. Tonight we had so many green flag laps, which was really pretty awesome to see. We had some short track races this year with like 400 cautions. But tonight we ran green, so I think that's a testament to what these drivers in this league can do on a big track. And all in all, we're looking forward to next week.
All right, Peter, we look forward to seeing you. We'll see you next time, man.
All right, thank you all. Have a good night.
All right, speaking of weight, I got him. He's got small hands. He's got small fingers. Some would say small chicken fingers. But this win brought to you by Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. I'm going to say it, Wendell. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Eric Mickey, your winner tonight. 2 in a row, Eric. Tell us about it, brother.
Who are these dumb people that would say these things? Jesus.
Get out of my booth.
Too many people want to talk about me, apparently. God damn.
That's what happens when you win all these races, Eric.
Peter.
Yeah, okay, Matt. I mean, I'll just go there then. I don't know. Everyone knows how things happen when you come into pit road. You're pacing at a higher speed than pit limit is. You almost wait until the last minute to start slowing down. I was doing what I felt was the normal thing, and then I was run into by Peter and got the penalty for that. I'm surprised he didn't get one. And I mean, come on, any one of you guys in that situation and anybody else in that race tonight would have done the same thing and at least ask, like, what the rule is or what the deal is on that, if that was an excusable thing or not. So I know that's always going to hang over this one, but if you discount that, I feel like this was probably the best win I've had on the year. Chuck and I were just so equal that it just came to little things that meant one of us getting out front. And I'm not sure why he fell back at the end, but I feel like if he was able to get out in front of me when he had the chance, he probably would have been able to hold on to.
Yeah, without a doubt, we saw you two were probably the class of the field, especially on the long run. Maybe Chuck was a little bit better that first run, and then not sure, a little wall contact or something maybe set him back there at the end. Does this, this is your, well, as Trey said, back-to-back wins, but this is the win in the playoffs, so you don't have to worry about the next two rounds necessarily. But I'm kind of feeling that's not going to take anything away from you wanting to go out there and maybe beat up Peter at Mid-Ohio.
Oh, that'd be nice. I think everybody knows Peter's the favorite for next week, but yeah, I mean, yeah, if I have a chance of getting the win there, I'm going to take it too. There's playoff points on the line. There's, I want to do everything I can to get to Homestead as easily as possible so that I know that I'm going to be there and it makes the road easy. So yeah, I'm looking at trying to get the win at both of the remaining races in this first round. It is a bit of a weight off the shoulders knowing that even if something terribly happens in the next couple of races that I'm still going to move on. But yeah, I don't know. This is what playoffs are meant to be, I guess.
So, Man Bun, Matt, got anything?
After that, I don't know.
You dead
well,
behind the ice.
Erica, we know you're really looking forward to Mid-Ohio, but the thing I really want to know, because I think we'll see you there in the championship round at Homestead, how do you like that track? I know there's some mixed reviews about it from some of your competitors that are in the playoffs, but what do you think of that place?
Homestead's one of my favorite tracks. If you're talking oval NASCAR tracks, it's probably in my top 5. So I'm really looking forward to that being the race that decides the championship if I'm going to be in the mix there. And I know Peter doesn't like it, so that makes me like it all that much more. So yeah, I mean, I'm perfectly happy with that. I think, we still have Talladega coming up, so I think that's going to be circled for everybody. The other 2 races or I think one of these rounds is 2 races. I'm not sure, but whatever round races share around with Talladega, everybody in the playoffs is going to be looking to get a win at those places because Talladega, anything can happen. So it can ruin your season. It can make your season. It's that's going to be that's the next race that I really have like a big eye on right now.
All right, Eric. Well, you led a race high 43 laps tonight, 2 in a row. First playoff win seals you into the next round. Heading to Mid-Ohio, which, you said people think Peter's the favorite, which you might want these people to think. But I'm telling you guys, don't be sleeping on Eric Mickey. He could turn left. He could turn right. But before I let you go, Eric, give us those shout-outs, brother.
Corey Lindsay okay, I know the smart-ass answer is going to be for handing me that win tonight, but for doing everything that he does, handling this league and getting everything on on the up and up, taking himself out of the car to admin these races. Nathan Young Designs for sponsoring the series, and Cold Hard Art for everything that they do at the cup level, and you guys, of course, OCR TV, for doing what you do tonight, doing what you do Mondays, and doing what you do on Wednesdays.
All right, Eric. Well, we appreciate it as usual, man. Congrats on the win again, 2 in a row. 3 going into Mid Ohio. Thank you for your time, brother. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
All right.
That was a hard call for Corey to make for sure on that one, because that's in the gray area. But I think, in my opinion, because everybody's gonna have a different one, that was spot on. I think, because it really wasn't an intentional gain on pit road.
No, it was. I mean, you can go back and, well, no one can watch the replay, I guess, but I'm sure Wendell caught some angles of it. But if we went back and watched some of the speed cameras, and it was pretty clear they were both at 51, 52.
Yeah.
And then after the hit, it was 55, 56. So one of those things, I'm sure they'll learn from it. And I don't know, it's going to happen again, most likely. And these things tend to, I'm surprised we won't have it more often, Trey. When you look at the way the pit entries work, everyone tries to go in as fast as they can and slam on brakes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Our producer always used to yell, 50, it's 50, not 45, 50.
Probably talking to Robbie Burgers.
Oh, boy. Well, he doesn't know what 50 is.
I don't know. Yeah.
50 beers.
Yeah, probably.
50 beers.
All right, guys, we're
Off the rails already.
Yeah, off the rails. But to follow Chuck, we're flat tracking tomorrow night. Cup
Old
cars
school.
at Milwaukee.
Love it.
Yeah, should be a great race. Milwaukee definitely better than New Hampshire, so should be a fun race tomorrow night.
Without a doubt, 200 laps, kick off the playoffs. I believe we've heard some stories last year that it was quite the barn burner between Drew Eisman and Race Clark. So maybe those two can tangle feathers again and see what happens.
Tangle feathers.
But until then, which will be tomorrow night, Trey, tell them what they can do.
See ya!
Gee.
Yeah, you'll totally have to wait until I say we're out because I can't hit the mute button and play the intro that fast. Thanks.